Hello, hello, everybody. Pop culture curator here. Welcome again to another fantastic Monday for our review of Star Trek the Animated Series. Today we'll be covering episode 8, The Magicks of Megas-Tu. And first things foremost, I want to say hello to Edge of Time in the chat. So, anybody that comes into the chat, I want to try to say hello. And I think I made a resolution that I'm going to start reading the chats because I've been getting comments that I think people feel like they're not getting much attention if I don't read the chats. So I'm going to take the time to break up the conversation if I can to cover them when I can. I don't want to miss anybody.
Well, it's a
So
delicate balance to keep the show on topic and reading the chats at the same time.
right, and I know
But we
everybody
can do
has
it.
schedules where they have and everybody has to get somewhere. Mostly the reason why I did it was I was kind of doing it in haste because I feel that people have to go somewhere, but I figure if people have to leave, I guess they can. I just want to give the people in the chat a voice and an opinion, and I want to be able to respond to their questions and their comments. Um, I guess I'll go in order. Scotty R37, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Pop Culture. Thank you so much for having me once again. This is so fun.
Yes, it is my pleasure once again. And PvP, good to see you.
Yeah, it's awesome. So nice to be here. I've always wanted to come on, and do some of the animated streams, but of course, unfortunately, most Mondays I'm at work. So I thought today, since I wasn't, it would be a great opportunity to finally come on and talk about, TOS animated version.
Well, I feel very honored by your presence, so thank you for taking the time to be here.
Oh, thank you. You're
Jill,
welcome.
Hey, I'm always excited to be here to talk about Star Trek in any form. An animated series is super fun.
absolutely, absolutely. Antiderivative Jill, and thank you, Jill, for being here as
You're
well. I
welcome.
really appreciate it. I missed, uh, I missed the fun from last week. I don't mean I missed it like I wasn't here, but I'm just saying I miss it because it's really fun. It's too bad it's only once a week.
Well, wait till we
And
start doing Gilligan's Island.
we'll start at
Gilligan's
Gilligan's Island, yes. We're gonna narrowing down the days and times where people are available. Gorilla's Random Thoughts, welcome and good to see you, sir. How are you?
Well, this episode summed up how my day was.
Oh, it
Yeah,
did.
well, actually, more like this week. This last week has been. I'm giving this episode an F.
Oh, pray tell. Why is that?
And, and this is coming from a guy who gave Toxic Avengers 2 a D minus.
Okay, I thought I'd hear Talk the Avenger and Star Trek in one sentence, but there you go. Right. I don't know why, but my Stream Elements bot looks like it may be running. I don't know if I should trust it or know where it's running to, but let's try it out. I'm going to try it. Jill, I'm going to use you as a guinea pig here first. I'm going to see if it works.
Okay, I already didn't trust it and put links in the chat, but go ahead and test it out.
Oh, thank you. I
You're
just
welcome.
I just put the tag in there.
Oh,
Hey,
it works.
it worked.
Holy- wow.
I wonder what's going on. Maybe somebody's at work today. So that makes me happy.
Good
So I
bot.
will try to good bot, good bot. I will try to plug channels as best I can. And like I said, I'm going to make sure that I pay attention to everyone in the chat. Say hello to everybody. We're going to try to respond to their comments. Um, does anybody have anything to say before we get started with the review?
No, I don't think we do.
Not really.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah,
Everybody-
this is an interesting episode.
Do you want to know why I give it an F right away?
Sure, go ahead if you want to fill us in.
Okay, when I was watching this episode, I was just eating my chicken bowl that I got from Quick Trip. I thought they put some damn LSD or something in it there in this whole episode. Yeah, so I thought I was on an LSD trip the whole time I was watching this damn episode. And then it gave me a damn headache watching all the swirling goddamn colors.
Well, it is trippy for sure.
Well, I can't argue with that assessment, really.
I do need to try that chicken bowl one of these days. It sounds yummy.
Yeah, especially if you're lacing with LSD. Boy, talk about getting something for your money.
Well, for $5.
Not
As a
bad.
Canadian, I was enjoying the colors alongside perfectly legal substances.
You took too much LDS.
Too much LDS.
That's right. Yes.
And hello in the chat to Hungry for More Starlin. like the 1970s Gamora.
Oh, hey, hungry for more.
Is it Gamora or Gamera? You're not talking about the giant turtle, are you?
I
Are you
have a
talking about like
feeling it
Sodom
might
and
be.
Gomorrah? Okay, because I know if it's a turtle, it's Gamera, but it's spelled differently. And hello, hungry. Good to see you. In fact, first thing I do is I ignore what I said. Okay, so Edge of Time is in the chat and says hello, and Antiderivative Jill says, "Hey, at Edge of Time," and cut to the next one. And here we go. Hungry for more. My phone is going crazy. Hungry for more Starlin, like 1970s Gamora. Hey guys, time for you to rock. That's absolutely right. We're excited. And hungry, I'm gonna call you Hungry Boy if that's okay. Hey, no trippy bigotry, Yellow Submarine fan here.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a pretty trippy film for sure.
And Gamora, Turtle Gamera, sexy blue skin chick from comics. Oh, gotcha. Okay, okay. That was. Am I right or am I wrong? But she was the sister that was taken apart, right, by Thanos in pieces and being tortured.
Mhm.
Or no,
Th-
no,
th-
she's the one from Guardians of
No,
the Galaxy.
Nebula. That's Nebula.
mhm.
Nebula. Gamora or Gamora is from Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that right?
Yep. So is Nebula.
Oh well.
But I believe we're referring to Gamora here. So I think everyone is correct on so many different levels. It is exciting.
Right. Well, she's one of the main characters, I guess, in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm still getting those names down. Okay, and let me see here. Jill, are you ready to share your slides?
Yes. Right. I need to share those, don't I? Oh.
Mommy. It's okay, Jill. It's okay. It doesn't
Okay.
bug us.
I'll be
Yeah,
It's
right.
just
that's
you.
I'll
cool.
be right back. I'll
I
share.
know. You got
No
red alert.
worries.
Jill's got red alert.
Red, no, it's red
Oh boy.
alarm. Red alarm.
I'm going to add a
No
red
pack
alert
lids.
symbol.
I'll be right back.
I'm okay. I'm going to add a red alert to my video feed, so whenever something like this happens, I can pop up with the red alert sign.
No,
If
pop culture. I'll send you. I'll try to find a clip for you that worked really great for that.
I actually I do have it. I created it for the very first stream and never
Oh
used it. I
no,
created one for me for TAS, and I created one for Jill, but she said
yeah.
she didn't want to use it because there's no spoilers on Star Trek because it's so old. So I haven't used them.
Oh, on Lower Dexter, there was a joke with the Packlets there.
I don't
They
know who
make
that is.
that well, there's a species that they were constantly attacking each other throughout the season and all that. But they had a joke.
Okay.
They were making fun of the red alert there, and on the Packlet ship when they got attacked, it was going red alarm, red alarm, red alarm. It's
Well,
kind of
this is
turned into like a joke throughout the community.
gotcha. This is the clip that I have. So I guess I need to change it to red alert instead of
Hello.
spoiler alert. No, I was just showing them the clip of my spoiler alert, but we've decided that there's no spoilers because this show is like 50 years old. So I need to change it to red alert, and then I'll use it whenever we have an emergency come up.
Alrighty.
And let me scroll down so I can share Jill's screen. Sorry, everybody, I'm on a laptop with a small screen, well, 15.6 inches, I guess. Okay, so like I said earlier, today we're going to be covering Season 1, Episode 8, The Magicks of Megas-Tu from Star Trek, the animated series.
Who was it written
And
by?
Oh, this episode first aired on October 27th, 1973. It was written by Larry Brody and directed by Hal Sutherland. But about this episode, Larry said in the book, it was pretty clear that Roddenberry wanted to meet God in outer space, all powerful and judging us. Gene, of course, loves it, never letting on that he thought about it before. And the book continues. One of Roddenberry's favorite script notes to give writers was to add God. Brody knew this and wrote his pitch to have the Enterprise crew do just that. Although Dorothy Fontana and Roddenberry approved the script, NBC did not. He was really sad, Brody recalled. He thought maybe this time he would get away with the God thing, Roddenberry film script that was never made. But I could write about the devil. I went home and made changes, rewrote the story to reflect this. I loved it. I watched the original show as a fan, and then as someone who was working and wanted to see how they did science fiction. Sorry, my cat bumped everything.
No problem.
Um, I know all these characters. I am hearing them in my mind, and I know exactly what they would say. I wrote it in maybe 3 or 4 days. It was short and it was fun. I was told by everyone how much Jean loved it, and Dorothy loved it. The episode did the Enterprise did finally meet God, sort of, in 1989 Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, but
Woo!
but the
Yeah,
god of
yeah. He never gave up.
but the god of Shakari proved to be no more than a malevolent life form. My cat freaking loves my laptop, which needed a spaceship to escape the Great Barrier at the center of the galaxy.
That's interesting. I don't know if you have it in your notes, Jill, but I was reading from an excerpt from Larry Brody where, right, NBC turned it down because they didn't like the word God in there, especially because it was a Saturday morning cartoon. But once he changed it to the devil, they were fine with it, I guess.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
apparently, right, but apparently the story he gave to Gene Roddenberry completely rewrote it. And Larry Brody didn't know until he actually watched the episode that it was nothing like his story.
Well, isn't that always the case?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I read that too. I actually did a little bit of research this afternoon when I noticed you were going on with this episode, and yeah, apparently Roddenberry just rewrote the whole darn thing.
And put his name at the top of the credits for the writing.
Did Larry ever release his story?
That I'm going to find out because that's what I was thinking while watching this. I would sure love to have seen the original story or how it turned out.
The
I'm
script
not.
must be,
I'm
the
not going to
script
give
must
away my
exist somewhere.
possibly. I'd have to look up him more, and I'm not going to give away my review too much. But I will say I was disappointed. It's too bad
Mm,
Roddenberry does that. That seems to be a common thing with him.
okay. Well, I like to start off with the captain's log, stardate 1254.4, and it says, for years, scientists have theorized that if our galaxy was created from a great explosion, then the center of the galaxy might still be creating new matter. The Enterprise is now on a science mission to investigate. But my problem with this is that matter is neither created or destroyed. It changes forms, but what the matter that we have in the universe is what we have, and that's a really strange theory that matter is created at the center of a galaxy. But I have to remember the time that this was written in the '60s, and I don't exactly know what they knew in the '60s. That I can only guess at. I'd have to go to the library to figure out what they knew about cosmology then. I
Right. Everything's changed so much. I agree.
Yeah. So I have to let this episode have its wacky interdimensional center of the galaxy. So we know that we know now for sure that at the center of many most of the galaxies there's a supermassive black hole that does gobble up matter rather than create it. But while it's true that stars will create new chemicals and new compounds and everything, but it's creating it from other matter.
I
Um,
agree.
so anyway, but it's still a creative premise. So I just have to remember that they probably didn't know what we know now here. And on that same note, something else they also might not have known was how big our galaxy was. Like how it was kind of impossible for the Enterprise to make it to the center of the galaxy because recent estimates say that the entire galaxy is 200,000 light years across. But that doesn't tell us how far away we are from the center of the galaxy. So I thought it would be 100,000 because we're kind of close to the edge, but I was wrong. According to our current estimates, we're 25,800 light years away from the center. So I
Nice.
Wow.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
yeah, so I found a warp calculator. I'll give you the links to my research here for that. The warp with the warp calculator. I didn't do the math on my own, but So I'll share the link for you if you want to check it out. It's at ksfcn.com. And I put in warp factor 9 just to give the Enterprise the best chance, even though the engines probably couldn't handle that very long.
Well, there was a point here where they said that it was stressing the engines out because they were going too fast, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That the whatever's at the center makes them go up to warp 10.
Right, to
But
pull them in.
yeah, but this is actually just traveling from Earth to the center of the galaxy. And of course it's 28,000 about 28,000 light years. And when I put that in the warp calculator, it would take the Enterprise 35 years to get there.
Wow, the deadly
Wow.
years, huh?
That's a long episode.
So the episode already can't even happen. But we're gonna go on this adventure anyway.
Okay.
Boy,
And
Scotty would be freaking out.
I want to say Hungry Boy says, yes, she used to be a Persian-looking assassin in the comics from the 1970s. And Hungry for More says, in a green fishnet jumpsuit. Oh, nice. No wonder why she was memorable. And Hungry says, no complaints. Okay, Jill, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so like Gorilla was saying, this whole episode is trippy. It starts off with the Enterprise covered with an orange haze. So we begin to see matter being created, I guess, in all of these crazy scenes. As they approach the center of the galaxy, they place the ship on yellow alert.
What I think
And
was nice, I like the animation because, sorry about this, Gorilla, but I actually like the psychedelic animation because it was all done on the fly. It's not done with cells. So they were actually drawing every frame you see being drawn as you see it. They're not just using the same old cells over and over and over again. So I really like the detail on that, if it makes any sense.
It was really dynamic. It was really visually intriguing. And also when it aired, it was while the stories are intended like to be, fourth season of Star Trek, like it still has to be visually engaging for kids. So I
Yes,
thought it looked great.
me too.
Yeah,
I thought it was spectacular.
I like the look of the episode too. I thought it was very engaging, really. Nice change of pace, from some of the episodes.
Absolutely.
yeah, we get all these visions of fireworks and stuff happening as they start their scientific survey. Everything's colorful. And then the ship starts getting pulled. The Enterprise is pulled at warp 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And Sulu can't help it. He's upset about it, I guess.
He does look upset. Well, at least Uhura's in this one anyway.
Well, yeah, she confirms that subspace radio is dead. Um, they hope to get away by finding the eye of the storm, and hopefully it'll be calm there. And in this attempt, the Enterprise is surrounded by golden glow eventually. Oh, what's
And
up?
it, well, I was going to say, as we saw, Nurse Chapel got a cameo laying on the floor in the hallway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they're swirled about. What in the blazes? I'm curious as to why the chief medical officer wasn't informed. We're going to the center of the galaxy now. This is what's going to happen. We're pretty sure there's going to be some turbulence. So, and then McCoy shows up on the bridge and is, "What are you doing? All my test tubes are jostled."
And the Enterprise is surrounded by golden glow, and it disappears. And you get lots of spirals, circles.
How exactly do you visually
And headache.
determine the space-time continuum without little Tron discs upside down?
Yeah, are those like saucers or something? Little plates in space?
They're
I don't know.
Pez.
I don't know if they. Yeah, I don't know if they give the exact descriptions of what those objects were or not.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
platelets.
it's pretty
like in the
bizarre,
bloodstream.
I was thinking the same thing. That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
I just thought they were like platelets, like in bloodstream, only like galactic size.
I
I
thought
agree.
about the bloodstream too, Gorilla. Nice.
Yeah, and especially
Right.
with the red background. And Hungry Boy, I agree with you. Mum stuff is
Yeah.
always priority.
You know why I came up with that bloodstream the idea? because I could feel the blood pulsating through my temples as I was getting a headache from the swirling.
Well, next time try something other than a chicken bowl.
And so her confirms subspace radio is dead. The chronometers won't tell time.
And
And
someone
as
left the door to the turbo lift open.
oh, they did. Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That
And
doesn't look like a regular door.
as
Yeah,
everyone,
go ahead, Jill.
Sorry, Joe.
oh, that's okay. Actually, okay. Sulu passes out. I guess this is the point where everybody's kind of going nighty night.
Well, all the power's out, right? So even
Well, yeah.
environmental systems are down.
Right.
Yeah, their life
they
support's
they
gone.
knocked
Oh,
the
those
life-
humans are so weak.
They
And
explained that,
Vulcan.
right. Spock explained that none of their electronics are working because where they're at, I guess all of our laws of physics do not apply. So that's why everything is dying, including the power.
And the Enterprise is covered in rainbows. And
See, it's diverse. There you go.
And
Right?
more
Diversity.
and more headaches.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Herc. Hey, Herc.
Then it gets really weird.
and a figure who looks like Pan from Greek mythology appears, being a centaur. Calls himself Lucian.
Voiced by, was it James Doohan?
James Doohan. Let me see. I guess so.
Yeah,
I was trying to
finding-
figure it out.
Yeah, I was looking it up online today. Several.
I couldn't find a
different
reference.
sites, and I couldn't find any credit for who did the voice for the character.
Same here. I don't think it was Duhan, but I did. I looked and I couldn't find it either. I found the voice of the other actor, which we'll meet a little later on the planet. But yeah, I couldn't find the. So
Yeah, I actually enjoyed whoever did Lucian's voice. I found him very very engaging. I kind of brought the character to life, so to speak. So I
right.
thought
So all,
he did a good job. Whoever did it.
so all you naysayers out there, that saying Duhan does all the voices. Nope, nope. We've got other people in there in the mix as well.
Hmm.
And Hungry Boy says the magic foo of Megas-Tu. Woo woo.
I'm looking to see who's voicing Lucian. It was James Doohan.
Oh, it was.
Oh, very cool.
Awesome.
Well, that shows how good he can do, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
He
never
sounds
would have
different.
guessed.
Yeah, funky colors already, says Hungry Boy.
So
Hungry Boy says center of the galaxy is just a jump to the left.
So of
Well,
course
and
he has.
Then
go
a step
ahead.
to the right.
ahead.
Moving on.
Yeah, Lucian has the head, arms, and torso of a man, the goatee beard, small horns, and the legs of a goat. And he's just happy to see humans as the Enterprise approaches the red watermelon planet.
And this is, Kirk begs him to reactivate the power.
Yeah, and he does.
I realized when he arrived that he
There's
cut
red.
out all the power. Watermelon planet.
Mm.
That reminds me of candy that my grandma used to have in her drawer.
Yeah, I remember those candies. My grandma used to have them too. I liked them.
Yeah, actually, I remember candies that looked like that. Come to think of it, yeah.
You think when they drew the planet, someone was eating one of those and just decided to draw it as the planet?
Yes.
Hmm.
It is actually called Megas-Tu. He wants to. I guess he just wants to play with the humans, so he brings them down to the planet. And here they are. They're going through some crazy stuff some more. I don't know what to say. I can't really be articulate here because I don't really know. It's just distorted and swirling.
Well, they're taken to a place that is beyond human comprehension or even human senses, and that's why it's. And also, they're as witnessed here by crazy jellyfish James Kirk. Come on, there is no real corporeal life at the center of the galaxy where all matter is being created, where it's being created. So
I think they
Lucian
explained
is doing his best to assist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
they
like-
explained
it was
that
like-
they're in their ethereal form.
Yeah, it was like a magic land. There wasn't anything real about it, as far as our senses can tell, anyway.
And of course, Bones isn't happy.
But Spock seems to like it a bit.
Well,
Well,
that
Spock's
LDS,
always
you know
curious.
how that is, right?
Spock's just trying to figure it all out, probably knowing Spock.
And he continues to mess with them a bit, turning Spock and McCoy into a spinning top and a young version of Lucian.
So trippy.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, actually.
Yeah, what was the purpose of that?
I
I,
just don't get that scene at all, really.
I
I'm
could be
still
wrong.
puzzled.
I could be wrong, but I think the reason why they're doing what they're doing is they're establishing this world is based on magic and not physics, maybe.
Yes, yes.
I guess.
And everything Scotty said a couple minutes ago,
Mm.
just repeat that over and
Yeah,
over
all
again.
that
That's
too. Yeah,
perfect.
and
Thank
Hungry
you.
Boy, that's one
You're
short
welcome.
skirt. I agree. No complaints.
Then he turns him back to normal and transforms the appearance of his world to look more like Earth.
I agree, Hungry Boy. That's what I meant. Had the hand-drawn airbrushing and everything. I wasn't sure how to word it. I needed
That
an animator to do so,
Oh yeah,
or artist,
Hungry says that yellow glow around the Enterprise had to be done by hand with an airbrush.
by the way.
Respect.
Yep, I totally agree.
And then he snaps his fingers a lot. I mean, actually, he's not snapping his fingers. I think of snapping fingers because that's like cute, but he just like puts his hands out and everything goes. Psh, and then
Sorry, goes like what? Yeah, just making
Can you
sure.
can you
Yeah,
spell that, please, for the
yeah, we
transcript?
need a spelling.
For the transcript definition, please.
Yeah, he's got like magic energy bolts that seem to come out of the palm of his hand for some weird reason. But
Yeah.
I do like the art here, though. I thought it was very well done in this episode. Like they put a lot of work into this.
Yes, and it
Well,
matches the exterior of the planet.
well, it's one of the
Yeah.
things that I really enjoy about the animated series is just that we get to, sort of see aliens like RX that wouldn't be possible in live action. We get to see these great worlds that aren't sort of matte paintings and there's no divide between the main characters and their environments because of the animation. It all is
Yeah,
seamless, and my suspension of disbelief is just that much more so.
yeah. They weren't held back by the budget constraints like they were in the original series. So it was kind of nice to see, some stuff like this. Yeah, for sure.
Well, they did. This is Filmation, and they did have budget constraints, but I think they really did really well with under the constraints that they had.
Well, yeah, yeah, definitely. I would agree with that 100%. Yeah.
Right. But I give the full props to the animators and the artists. It looks fabulous, in my opinion.
mm,
Like I said, remember, everybody, this was up against Scooby Doo and Hong Kong Phooey. So yeah,
That's
there you go.
true.
Also, it's kind of interesting that we have foreshadowing for who Lucian actually is because welcome to my garden. Have an apple.
Yeah, pretty hard.
he
Pretty hard to ignore who he actually is.
yes, he conjures two apples and explains how the women use magic to look beautiful and young and
Yeah, I didn't get
yeah.
that. I didn't
Yeah,
understand that. It was
I
like,
don't
all
know.
right,
Well,
all right.
Bones sure liked it.
Yeah, it
Well,
seemed kind of, I don't know, just kind of like just a little odd bit in the episode. Like it didn't really relate to anything else.
No, yeah, it was just like here's magic and we do magic and here's some more magic and look we make our houses and we
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
have
why do it yourself? We have a guy for that.
yeah.
Yeah,
What's your
where's the roller
favorite
coaster?
sorcerer?
And Spock says, of course, our Federation scientists were more correct than they realized. In order to function, the galactic creation point must extend through space, time, into another dimension where the logic of things is totally different.
And
And
Hmm.
oh,
these are some creepy monks.
They are weird looking dudes.
Copy and paste, copy and paste.
Oh, I don't even think I wouldn't even say that just because they would have had to draw each one of them individual, even if the character design is the same. But they are
Actually,
sort of creepy looking.
back then it was Xerox.
It seems like a
Lucian,
strange design though. Like I just wondered why do they look like that? Like it just, I don't know. It just seems very
I think
weird.
it's because they don't want to give away yet their what they look like and their identities.
Hmm.
which we'll find out here soon enough.
Right.
He explains that his people are peaceful, but that a millennia ago they visited Earth to help, but they had to leave. But that's all he says at this point. And at the same time, oh yeah, oh right. And this is how they fly in space.
Before
Yes.
Galaxy Quest, everybody.
Ha! Good call. You'll remember
Yeah.
from Galaxy Quest, they have the bubble that shoots them across the
Yep.
Bifrost.
And I agree, Hungry Boy, so much ever a little time. Absolutely.
And they're all just looking cute during story time.
It's like he's always saying, look at these abs.
Well, no one wants him to pay. Just don't pay attention to my Tyrannosaurus Rex arms.
Oh, jeez.
But he realizes that he has attracted the attention from the others of his kind, and he shoos the crew back to the Enterprise. And Lucian puts a mist over Megas-Tu so that the rest of the population doesn't realize the Enterprise is there. He's hiding them.
I guess kind of like toys or pets.
Hmm. Yeah.
I like that shot of Spock sitting on the railing. He doesn't do that very often. So I kind
Oh,
of
can we see? Go back to that. I missed that. Oh
right
yeah.
there.
Cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty rare. Wow.
Yeah, you don't see Spock just leisurely hanging around like that usually.
Yeah, he's pretty casual.
Yep.
And so Spock, being stuck in a magical dimension, decides to try some magic using this pentagon.
Pentagram.
Pentagram.
You know, Satanism for the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Pentagram, Pentagon. It's all the same thing, right?
Pentagon.
I'm a bit amazed actually that
What
they
is a
would put.
pentagon, though?
I'm a bit
Pentagon is
amazed
that
they
big
put-
building that's shaped like that, where all the top head government, the armed forces meet. That was one of the targets of 9/11.
I'm amazed they'd actually put a pentagram in a Saturday morning cartoon. It seems like wow.
A pentagram and the devil.
Yeah,
Sort of.
like wow, good entertainment for the kiddies.
Well, you could say it's a Jewish star.
Yeah, but wow, I don't know if you'd
And
ever
so
get
you're-
that on TV. Yeah, these
So you're
days.
saying that Jewish culture and the Wiccan culture are the same?
Star of David has 6 points. Pentagram has 5.
That's probably
Uh,
correct.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, completely different things.
Yep.
And Spock gets this golden aura around him, and so he conjures the ability to use magic and moves this chess piece.
Spock's
Of course
just
he
happening on
uses
that
magic to do
And it's
chess.
funny, Hungry Boy, I have to say this. Lucian has been doing the Jack LaLanne workout. That's a joke for us fossils. And I was going to say Jack LaLanne, but I figured nobody else knew who that was besides me.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Jack LaLanne.
Yeah, he used to have a daily TV show every day where he would do like 1,000 exercises with a chair. It was funny. Sorry, go ahead, Jill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the book says about this part of the episode. It has the quote. Kirk says, "Spock, do you honestly believe that as long as we're in this universe, we can work magic too?" And Spock says, "One uses the resources at hand, Captain." And magic is not a concept based in science and therefore not logical. Spock notes as much when Lucian restores life support to the Enterprise when nothing else works. However, even more remarkable is Spock's logic in his acceptance of the idea that magic exists and powers this alternate dimension. And there's that. And then we move on to a captain's log. Supplemental. In this incredible universe, it appears to be part of the natural laws that belief is as potent a force as energy and matter are in our own. So then also Sulu tries some magic too.
Why not? Yes. That's
Oh,
funny.
man.
They did go there for a Saturday morning cartoon. I think that's funny.
Yeah. Come to think of it, yeah, that's getting a little bit risque for Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh.
Oh my! Someone was checking out the abs.
Getting close to reality all the time here.
What are you touching? Yeah.
But then the woman turns into Lucian after Sulu conjures a pretty lady, but then she turns into Lucian, who warns that their use of magic is making them detectable to the others on his world. But this warning comes too late. And the others have found the Enterprise, and some kind of misty ghost images appear on the ship.
And they were really creepy.
Yeah.
Like they were
Yeah.
frightening character
They were
Great
designs.
scary
animation. I
looking.
love
And
it.
they were voiced by George Takei.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They were really freaky looking images. though.
Scotty or Sulu's still looking all upset.
Well, he just got blocked by Lucian.
He was just getting excited and worked up.
You let me use my magic and then you turn into the devil? Come
Oh,
on.
jeez.
They,
Yeah.
they make the Enterprise crash or something. I don't know what they make it do. They make it disappear or get destroyed or whatever.
Well, and when it got bisected, I was like, oh my
Yeah.
stars.
That was freaky when they ripped the Enterprise in half. Like, what the?
Yeah, that was cool. And Hungry Boy says fabulous.
This cat is
Already
fighting
no
me.
solid
Sorry.
matters got him. It's okay. Jill's sound effects now committed to digital memory. I need to get a clip of that. I'm going to go back and copy that, and I'll use it later on.
Oh dear.
Oh, Jill, you're gonna start getting clipped like they clipped Bird of Prey 5.
So the crew are in stocks. Yeah, I showed that. The crew are in stocks on either side of the road, and the sign reads Salem, Massachusetts. 19. So it's like it looks like 1961, Salem, Massachusetts. The leader is Asmodeus, and he's played by Ed Bishop, and
Yep.
Ed Bishop is the guy who plays Ed Straker on UFO.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Cool.
So it's pronounced UFO?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a crash course on UFO the other day. It was great.
And thank you, Hungry Boy. All you are slaying it today. Fabulous stuff. Thank you, Hungry Boy. I appreciate it.
And Hungry says, why is Bones always the one to get sucked in by illusion stuff? Hi again, Mantrap.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And Asmodeus
Aussie.
is in Puritan clothes and is putting the humans on trial, which, definitely reminds us of what happens much later in TNG with the counterpart point with Q, putting humanity on trial. Oh, crap.
It's Red Dwarf.
Yes.
I read somewhere
let me
that this.
send a text message here.
Go for it. I read somewhere that this story pretty much. What I read is that the guy who wrote it, he introduces Gene Roddenberry for season 3 of the third season of Star Trek. Or he introduced it, but Fred Freeberger didn't like it, the producer. So he used it for this animated series. But then from what I read, they reworked it again for an episode of TNG. But I can't remember the name of the episode off the top of my head because I'm not that big a fan of TNG.
Okay.
Now, Jill, you said this is supposed to be 1960s Salem, Massachusetts?
I thought it was.
16,
Yes.
1691.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I thought you said 1960. Sorry.
Now, going back to what Hungry in the chat says, not to jump ahead, Hungry said, pentacle points up, not infernal. Pentagram points down. Well, that, for heaven's sake, that is certainly
Oh,
a
that's
pentagram.
good to know.
Pentacle, point up, not infernal. Pentagram, point down. Bad news.
Bad news.
Asmodeus tells how humans abuse them, and actually, I'm gonna read a short section from the book about this.
Okay.
Of what Asmodeus says. Everywhere we went, the story was invariably the same. Some humans would attempt to use us to gain power to serve their own greed and lust. When we refused to serve them, they turned against us and taught other humans to fear us, to hate. They called us devils, warlocks, evil sorcerers. Asmodeus, explaining what happened on the Megan's visit to 17th century Earth. So I guess the aliens are called the Megans. And also, the it says when the network was concerned about how the episode's premise would be received, God was replaced with the devil. However, the devil was just as controversial for some viewers who phoned NBC to voice their disapproval. In fact, the character named Lucian appeared demonic and was called the devil by 17th century humanity because of his appearance and his use of magic, but was not really the actual devil from the Bible, although that idea has been perpetrated by fans for years.
Yes. And they tried to say the same thing about Spock's character in TOS.
Yeah, right. Because in Apollo, the episode, doesn't Apollo call Spock like Pan or
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, and not only that, but even in Charlie X, Uhura makes mention of it as well.
Well, right, but if you guys, I don't know if you guys are aware, but it was the NBC was the ones that were hesitant because they thought people would associate, they thought the Bible Belt would associate him with the devil, and they even took publicity stills where they brushed out his ears. Have you guys seen those?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Also, he was
Yeah,
supposed to be red.
Yes,
yeah,
it was supposed to be red originally. Yes.
Oh right, I forgot. This is the scene that Spock had jaundice when he was in the gallows. He was more yellowish than he was greenish.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It's
yeah.
I didn't get a close up of that, but I think you're correct.
I think the reason they changed him from red to green was because didn't the red makeup look like blackface on black and white televisions? I remember reading that
Precisely.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Yeah, so obviously they couldn't stay with that.
Well,
And
not for the reason of blackface, because it wasn't a taboo subject back then. But you're right; it was because he wouldn't show up well on film.
Yeah, it just wouldn't have looked good though, basically. So it made
as
more
my,
sense to make him copper-based blood anyway.
hmm oh yeah, definitely green blood and everything.
Yep.
Asmodeus tells them that the humans use them for power, but when they refuse, humans punish them. And so the surviving Megans migrated to Salem, Massachusetts. But it turns out that he says that they were burned, but I read The Crucible, and despite the name, the witches were not burned, they were hung, except for that one man who was crushed to death by rocks.
But, you know,
Ouch.
I read that too that they were hung and not burned. But I know a lot of them were drowned as well. They would throw them in the water and say if they oh, we have a visitor.
Nope.
Hello, welcome,
Oh,
Dalek.
hi,
How are
Dalek.
you?
Hey, Dalek.
Hey, Dalek.
Welcome to the stream, Dalek. How are you doing?
Hi, Dalek.
Not good.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Did you just watch Magicks of Megas-Tu?
What? What's what?
Nothing.
Which
Never
what?
mind. It's
Which
not.
what?
It's not on topic or anything. Never mind.
Nah, that's a thought.
I'm
What's
sorry to hear
wrong?
you're not doing well, Dalek.
Yeah, what's wrong?
I'm. No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing good at the moment. I just. I just wanted to. I just. I saw you were live, and I just wanted to come in here for a bit.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
I
we're
hope
glad you're
this
here.
helps. Maybe
Hope it's
this
nothing too serious.
maybe this will be a little therapy and help you feel better.
Well, Dalek, if you want to talk about it, I'll stay backstage for a while after the stream.
But what I was saying about the witches, they used to throw them in deep water, and if they couldn't swim or return to the surface, they were declared witches.
Right, but the witches specifically for this Salem were all hung. So
Hung, yes.
yeah, or hanged. Anyway, the
As Modi,
so this
hung your wife.
experience soured the Megans from ever trying to make any more friends ever again.
And by the
That
way,
is
guys,
succinct.
by the way, everybody out there, men were accused as well, not just women.
Yeah, considering that guy who was crushed by rocks. They don't want to hurt the humans, but they need to provide a good defense. So Spock is the one that's going to defend the humans since he's not of Earth.
No, but his mother's half Earthling, so you think one of the alien crew members could have been, but who does,
That's true. Eric's
Or,
could have done it.
yeah, but it's all right.
Give him something to do finally.
Oh,
And
that's really cool. I never actually saw that before, but Eric's does have the he's got three little holes for his hands.
oh, how nice! How very accommodating of them.
Yes.
And this is like a precursor to Measure of a Man, which reminds me of.
So, first Spock confirms that Lucian likes humans for their curiosity, and then Kirk is freed to explain that humans have grown since those witch trials. He says, "I think we've been trying to, Spock. Humans have their faults: greed, envy, panicky fear, but in all the centuries since Salem witch trials, we have learned, we tried to understand and respect all life forms." And to prove this, Kirk gives complete access to Earth history, which the Megans confirm. But and so they accept the humans, but then decide that Lucian still has to suffer for his betrayal and be outcast from everyone forever. And Kirk argues that this is like sentencing him to death. The others reveal him as Lucifer, asking Kirk why he'd want to defend him. And this part I really like, I I like the quote that I just said previously. Both of these quotes are very Star Trek to me, despite the incredibly silly setting of this episode.
I was reading also and behind the scenes that this aired originally complete like we're watching it now, but then in the reruns they cut out any reference to Satan,
Well, that would
Mm.
totally destroy the story.
I
which
know,
it
right?
did
That's the
do.
whole
Right,
point.
It wouldn't
it
That's the
did
make
whole
any
do.
point
Right,
of the
sense.
story.
it
Kirk's
did.
speech would
Right.
be meaningless.
Yes,
Hmm.
it did. But
Yeah, and here's that part of that speech. Kirk says to isolate someone like Lucian, that's the same as sentencing him to death. Asmodeus, do you realize who you defend? He has told you his name is Lucian. Would you defend him still if you knew he had another name too? The Rollicker, the Tempter, Lucifer. And Kirk says, we're not interested in legend. He's a living being and intelligent life form. That's all we have to know about him. We will not join in harming him. And so the book says Star Trek once again successfully explores humanity's potential for growth. First, Kirk acknowledges at the trial humanity still has faults, but insists has grown over the centuries. Then, after the Megans exile Lucian to isolation for eternity, the captain defends Lucian's right to exist. Kirk does not judge Lucian on his name or appearance, but on his actions and his belief that all intelligent life has a right to exist. Kirk was a pure idealist, Brody said. I love Kirk. He defended everybody.
Yeah, it was another great Captain Kirk speech. I think that was the best part of the episode for me
Yeah,
personally.
but then we get a wizard battle.
Oh
It's
yeah,
true
right,
though. It's true.
right. Yeah, the
So
wizard
this
battle. Oh,
episode
geez.
went forward in time 50 years, stole the idea of Harry Potter there, and went back in time to claim it as its own.
stole from Harry Potter. Okay,
Yeah, went forward in the time travel 50 years, stole this idea from Harry Potter, then went back in time to claim it as their own.
I think you'll find Harry Potter to be a jumble of ideas ripped off from many sources in the
Yeah,
past.
actually,
That's one of the reasons why I
I
was not
think
a
that
fan.
J.K. Rowling was more influenced by Star Wars than Star Trek.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
And
Bewitched.
my joke didn't go over well. I see. I see.
It's fine, Gorilla.
no, I understand the joke. It's nice. They're surrounded by auras, and Kirk throws lightning, and Asmodeus um, throws flames, and all this stuff happens.
Yeah,
Water.
Kirk got really,
Oh, he
really
puts out
good at
the
magic,
fire.
like real fast.
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah,
Hungry
he's a
Boy says
wizard.
I had a crush on Megan. I
So did
got a
I.
pre I had a pre-trek sci-fi Nimoy treat for Jill on the Cosmic night. I'll carry on. Oh, interesting.
Oh. Mhm.
Not zombies of the stratosphere, right? Go ahead. Sorry, Jill.
Uh, You're not interrupting anything at this point. They're, I guess they're still fighting.
Air
But
bending, water bending.
I
Show
guess
offs.
here Kirk quits fighting and tries his words again. He says, um, "I have to, or you'll become as bad as Earthmen you fear. You're acting out of terror instead of thought or respect." And then I guess that's the end of it. I guess I then did anyone see exactly how that ended?
Well, essentially, what happens, I think, and I'm not to speak out of turn, but I think that it is all revealed to be a test to make sure that the humans are living up to their
Yes.
histories and
Yes,
their high sounding morals.
that's exactly it. I
Right.
remember them saying they wanted to test them because they thought that their history might have been false, so they wanted to prove, you know, their ideals were actually real.
Yes,
And
they were fooled
yes,
by records before.
and Lucian was behind the test, so he knew all along what was going on.
Mm,
Yeah, I just
mm.
got to say, I really like Lucian as a character, even though I think it's maybe a bit weird in a Saturday morning cartoon to have Satan as a really jolly, fun guy.
And Hungry Boy in the chat says, to be specific, some accused witches were burned after strangulation, but not
Ouch.
burned
Alive.
alive in the USA. Burning alive was in Germany in the 1500s.
Jeez, that's nasty.
And oh yeah, and then everything's set back to normal. The Enterprise is set back into orbit. The planet is all red again and looks the way it's supposed to. And Spock explains, "I see. The Megans had to have proof that mankind had grown and learned wisdom since they last saw Earth. Your compassion was that proof, Captain."
Yep.
Thing is,
And
though,
then
since they
this
did
happened.
say that humans would be welcome to visit their planet, I just thought that was an interesting way to end the episode. Like,
Yeah, and then in a very silly fashion, Lucian is very happy and conjures tankards so they can all toast to their new friendship,
that
n- never to be revisited again.
was good. Lucian must have been kind of lonely though after all the humans left, and he didn't have anybody to have fun with anymore.
Well, yeah, all the other Megans.
Well, yeah, but they seemed like kind of straight laced bunch compared to him.
Straight laced, and they're dressed like Quakers.
Ah, well, yeah, you got the joke. Good. Yeah, he was a
And
good character though.
Hungry Boy says, sorry to hear Dalek is not well. That upsets me. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't know
good.
Yeah,
what's
me
wrong.
too.
Dalek
Well,
hasn't
we'll get
said
to the
nothing.
bottom of that.
I
Yeah, and
think
Dalek just
he's
had
got his mic off.
he just had his birthday a couple days ago. He did some really good streams. If you guys get a chance to check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked his birthday streams.
Yeah, I won't give away your age, Dalek. That's up to you to do.
And then they head off to the next episode, away from the center of the galaxy.
Not the universe, the galaxy. You're right.
Right. But oh, I never rated this. I think I'll give it a C
Oh, I forgot
minus.
to put a poll up. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So I go
sorry.
Uh-oh.
ahead and rate it anyway, guys. I'm still getting. I put a poll for the
C,
first time last week,
gonna
and
be
then today I
nice.
forgot.
Maybe I'll give it a C. Um,
Hmm.
I really maybe might not consider this one canon because it's super silly and could never. It's not that the idea of what happens in the center of the galaxy could never happen because of the time maybe it was a good science fiction story, but they could never make it there. I don't know, or maybe they didn't know they couldn't make it there.
Oh, that's
That's the
true.
problem with judging these things so many years away
Well,
from the story
I
because we
guess
know so
Gene
much more about science now.
probably when Gene rewrote the script, he probably wasn't really up on physics and stuff anyway, so he wasn't thinking
No,
about
he was a
reality.
futurist. He took this stuff very seriously, so
Well,
I'm
he
Okay.
had
thinking that,
didn't he
Well,
have
maybe they just
advisors,
didn't know
right?
back then.
yeah, that's what I think. They just didn't
Hmm.
know.
I think Gene Roddenberry had advisors, though. I think he all he had to do is pick up the phone and ask questions.
Right. So, and it does have some Star Trek messaging about respecting life and having compassion for others. And so I like that.
Don't do
So it's hard to be
LSD.
mean to this episode. Yeah, with the LSD. So,
And
yeah.
so, Joe, you give it a C.
Yeah. Yeah. Good to see.
Very cool. And Scotty, what would you rate this episode? What do you think about it?
Oh, this thing is so elevated by hindsight being 2020 in my eyes. Just there is so much coming from this episode and taken from other episodes. Like Tomorrow is Yesterday with Kirk going back to the Salem witch trials. So that motif here in the trial section, plus, as Jill mentioned, the trial from like Q putting humanity on trial from TNG, and then even Voyager with you can't isolate one of the Megans, Lucian specifically, much like they did with Quinn in Death Wish, in Voyager, going to the center of the galaxy, like Star Trek V. I'm just getting so much stuff that was either referencing older Trek or would be somewhat echoed in later Trek. It made me happy, even though it was silly, because as you said, the premise of it is that since the Big Bang, matter is being created at the center of the galaxy. Well, no, they would be at the center of the universe. You silly monkey. So there are some inconsistencies, but again, I sort of look at it through the prism of enjoying a new Trek, and also it was directed to a Saturday morning crowd. So any inconsistencies in the science, I kind of forgive. But yeah, I give it like a B minus.
Very interesting. Yeah, the episode I was referring to, it says after a series of heavy rewrites over the years, I guess this story was replayed out and given form in Star Trek The Next Generation Devil's Due with Picard's crew of the Enterprise D.
Oh yeah, that was a good episode. I actually really like that one. Where that one alien pretends to be the devil, all the different devils from any culture
Yes.
that she wants to be, using
Yes.
her ship. That one
Well,
really felt like a TOS episode.
well, it was written for Phase 2. That
Yeah,
was
then that makes sense.
Yeah, and but also there are some inconsistencies in there as well because I think that there is actually a line in there where Ardra plays Feklar, the god of the damned, of the Klingon damned, but they previously established that the Klingons have no devil. Worf
Oh
says.
yeah, right, right.
But no, it's a yeah, absolutely it does echo some of Devil's Due as well.
Well, was that Devil's Domain, if I remember the title?
Devil's Due.
Devil's Due. Okay.
So, what would you rate it, Scotty?
B minus.
B minus. Oh, very cool. And PvP, what's your take on this?
Well, I'll give it a B. I thought it was a pretty goofy episode overall. There was a lot of silly parts, and as Jill has pointed out, a lot of the the science doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. Not that I'm an expert on that kind of thing by any means, but I basically think it was kind of salvaged by the character of Lucian, which I found was a lot of fun, even if, as I say, a lot of it didn't make sense. Knowing that James Doohan did the voice, that elevates it a bit because I thought the voice acting was very, very good. The character was very lively and enjoyable, and I thought the Captain Kirk speech at the end, was classic Kirk, and yeah, so I'll give it a B.
Oh, very cool. And I don't know if Dalek has a voice or not right now. I know he's not feeling so well. How about you, Gorilla? Oh, I guess we know your thoughts, right, Gorilla? I guess we haven't helped raise the mini.
My headache hasn't gone away, but still enough.
That's it. Keep holding out. And me, um, I have to say, this plot was kind of old. It was, I mean, it was even done on Bewitched. By the time and Bewitched was in the '60s, so by the time this episode came out, it was an old trope that had been pretty much done on almost every sitcom. I think I.D. Eugenie may have covered it as well. So I was disappointed. I'd have to agree with Jill. I'm giving it a C because I wish I could have seen what the original story may have been like. But it could have been worse. It could have been better. So, but I would give it a C. And the reason it raises up that high is I would say because of the animation. I give the animators a lot of credit. There's a lot of
Oh
hand drawn stuff or airbrushing here, like Hungry Boy said.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the animation on this I thought was really, really. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't
Again,
know
it was
why.
visually engaging. Well, it's not like they drew it in front of a live studio audience, but it was definitely dynamic and awesome. As opposed to, as you mentioned at the beginning of the episode, pop culture is as opposed to the sort of stock back plates that they had.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a classic by any means, but I found it entertaining, enjoyable overall, and I just thought it was kind of a fun 22 minutes or whatever, and yeah, that's why I might have rated it a little high, but I thought it was a fun episode overall.
Yep.
Fun and daring to have Lucifer and pentagrams.
Yeah, definitely for a Saturday morning supposedly cartoon, right?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting actually.
But you know what's different? You know what's different is back then kids could handle that kind of thing. Now they wouldn't. They kids can, but the censors and the cancel crowd, no, they think kids
Yeah,
can't handle that.
they'd
Kids
never
are a lot
allowed on
smarter.
TV.
Yeah, kids are a lot smarter than people give them credit for.
They are.
And
Yeah.
Hungry Boy says Harry Potter, the first book was all a twist with spells. And Hungry Boy follows it up with, for me, story C, animation A minus. That's a good rating right there.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like that a lot.
I wouldn't argue with that rating. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, C with an animation of A, right? Two different grades for this episode. And I'd give it a little boost because I agree. I think James Duhan did a good job because we had to sit here and look it up and talk and debate on who it was. So that's good. A good job by him. I give him credit.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
never would have guessed it was James doing the voice.
And Hungry Boy also says, "Don't forget Scottimation. This episode hot on the heels of Rosemary's Baby."
True.
Lol. Yeah, right around the same time. Rosemary's Baby came out just a couple years before that. I saw Rosemary's Baby when I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, so I'm glad I was introduced to horror at an early age. In fact, I saw Exorcist at the theaters when it was new.
I need
Oh
someone to
wow.
animate Scotty so we can name it Scottimation.
Scottimation. Is there anything else anybody would like to add? Anybody in the chat, is there anything you'd like to say? I tried to cover to say hello to everybody in the chat. Hungry Boy, thank you for being here, and I know Edge of Time was here for a while.
It
I
was.
appreciate you keeping us busy there, Hungry Boy. Thank you for the comments, the lively chat.
Yes. Thank you, Hungry.
Yeah, wow, Hungry's been typing up a storm here. I'm just taking a look. He's been motor mouthing even worse than I do most times.
And I know Hungry Boys. I know he's a big fan. I can animate Scott of Nation, lol, just not this year.
Really? Okay.
I look forward.
Me
And I
too.
think Hungry Boy, if I remember, I think he's a fan of old horror like I am. So one of the days, him and I need to get together on that. My pleasure. It feeds thee also, beast.
Oh, the Algo Beast. The algorithm.
Algo, I need to zoom in on this.
Well, no, you spelled it. I mean, you
Oh,
pronounced
I
it the way
see.
he spelled it. It was just a typo.
Okay. I apologize for that. Thank you, Hungry Boy. And I want to thank everybody on the panel for being here. Once again, this show would not be as good, nearly as good, without all your wonderful personalities.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
You
My
don't
thanks
need
for
to
having me.
pleasure.
apologize, Dalek.
That's great fun.
Dalek, you're fine, dude. We'll be seeing you soon.
We're here for you.
And, and you're always welcome on the panel, Dalek. I don't care how you feel. Like I said when you got here, maybe it'll cheer you up, you know. So if you're anybody out there, if you're feeling down, depressed, lonely, or ill, or anything, you're always welcome here, regardless of what's going on, because maybe we can help cheer you up. That's usually my goal, is
Yeah,
to enlighten you and hopefully make you leave happy. Unlike
yeah.
what
Well,
I suppose the opposite would be, right?
hopefully Dalek will be feeling better soon. Like I don't know what's wrong, but because he didn't say much, but yeah, I hope you're feeling better soon.
Dalek, if you're gonna, I know it's, and for Dalek right now, this is like early in the morning, probably like I don't know, 3, 4, 5 a.m.
Oh yeah, he's over in the UK, isn't he? Right.
Right. So Dalek, if you're gonna be up a little later and you do a stream, I'll stop by if you wanna chat.
It's, it's yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did make it here, Dalek. So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
And Scotty, tell us about your channel.
Well, if everything goes according to plan, tomorrow I'll be able to hang out on Jill's channel and we'll be talking about Charlie X. And on Wednesday night, we're celebrating the 60th anniversary of James Bond. So it'll be myself on the Phantasmagorium show with Kat, and we're going to have Bunyan Snipe, one of the moderators from the Post Geek Singularity. And we're going to talk all things James Bond. And if you want to head over there, we've reviewed all of the James Bond movies already. So we are qualified, I can assure you.
Oh, very cool. That sounds very exciting. And PvP, is there anything about your channel you'd like to share with us?
Well, nothing too exciting. I still haven't got around to making any real content. I do have a bunch of music playlists if anybody's into music and they want to go
Oh,
check those
nice.
out.
I know
Yeah,
I am. So
I
yeah,
got lots of them, and I'm always usually every week I'm adding something to it. So yeah, if anybody wants to check that out, and nothing much else to say. I guess I'll probably be working now right through till the end of the week. Till Friday, but yeah, I'll probably pop on next weekend somewhere. So we'll
great.
see you guys then.
Yeah, thank you. And I need to do the same as well. I need to get in there and start building up my playlist as well. So I definitely
Yeah,
understand that.
I really need to get a decent camera of some kind and start doing some videos one of these days. But I just never seem to get around to it. So oh well.
And Jill, tell us about your channel. Take it away, Jill.
Sure. I have a fun science fiction channel where I've reviewed all of the Orville, and now I'm working on Star Trek and UFO. And tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing Charlie X with you, pop culture curator, and Scotty R37. So,
Yes, I'm excited. That's a great episode.
yeah, Charlie is our new darling. And
The original Wesley.
Except you can't tell Charlie to shut up. You got to watch out, right?
on Thursdays I go to the Phantasmagorium show to talk about Quantum Leap.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Mm,
that. That's awesome.
that's
The
Yeah,
great.
right.
original quantum leap,
Don't
the
forget
real
about
quantum leap, right? Right.
our
The
quantum
real
leap.
real quantum leap guys out there listening.
Wait, what are you up to? What are you up to with that now? Episode 4, 5?
We're going 7 and 8,
Yeah,
right?
Oh,
I think that's
Yeah.
right.
right.
Oh, you're almost at the end of the first season.
Right, there's only 9 episodes in the first season.
Yeah, only 9 in the first season.
Yeah, if you want to watch those episodes, you're welcome to join us on Panel Dalek.
Yeah,
Though Jill could
absolutely.
defeat Bond, but I'd pay
I
to
mean, if
see
you
that.
could, oh, if I could join you on the panel to talk about Quantum Leap, yeah, I'd love that.
We typically do it whenever when it's good for Jill. Usually 7 or 8 Central,
Yes,
and
usually 8.
usually 8 Central. And yeah, if you're a Quantum Leap fan, Dalek,
Oh,
it would be great to have you on.
I definitely am. I love Quantum Leap.
Well, yeah, then please. I'll send you the details shortly.
Yeah, it's a great show, definitely.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
That was definitely a bright spot of the late '80s, early '90s.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Hungry
Well,
Boy says, "Ooh, faceless chick horde in Trek."
oh, that was so terrifying. Yeah, no, I just watched the episode, so I'm really looking forward to talking about it.
Yes, that was great makeup,
Yes, that's very scary.
and it
Yeah,
was
it was
very.
pretty
Yeah, I was
freaky.
gonna say it's very horrific for television at the time too. I think very daring. And Gorilla, if you're hopefully feeling better, tell us about your channel.
Well, we're on our last 2 weeks of Beyond Belief. We tried guess which stories are true and which ones are bullshit there, which I average about 4 out of 10. So but then we're gonna watch the 6 episodes of That Awkward Game Show. If you haven't seen that, that show is funny as hell.
Oh,
Then
very cool.
I'll be defending 30 Days on Thursday, Babylon 5 on Saturday. That Sunday we're watching Psycho 2, but the stream that I really want to push there, I'm hoping I can get at least 20 people. I know it's asking a lot there to watch the weekend before Halloween. There, the Sunday before Halloween, we're gonna be watching the only movie filmed in my hometown, based on an urban legend that's in my hometown.
Hmm.
There called Loon Lake. I'm hoping I can get like 20 people to watch along with me and come join the panel.
All right. Well, for everybody out there, make note of that, and make sure you send us the link and keep us abreast of what's going on with that Gorilla.
Yeah, I haven't
I'll
made
do
the
my
link
best
yet.
to
I'll
try.
make it this week.
Yeah, I'll do my best to try to be there. Hungry Boy says, "Ooh, faceless chicken, horror and Trek." I guess I already read that one. And when Charlie took the gal's face away, I was like, "Oh, beep, you Charlie."
That was
Yeah, that was pretty
that
nasty.
that was a definitely not a fit. Charlie X, definitely not a favorite of mine because I freaking hated Charlie.
Yeah,
You
Charlie was
hated
pretty messed
Charlie.
up.
Well, just remember now, we'll be covering that next week. I don't want, or tomorrow. I don't want to give away any spoilers.
No,
But
no,
Captain Kirk
no.
was very close to punching Charlie's lights out, and I think that's an
Yeah.
hilarious scene.
Well, with Charlie there, you got to give him a 10 out of 10 on that spanking. It had perfect form, just the right amount of oomph to it. It was a 10 out of 10 for that spanking.
That's right. He did get spanked. By the
No,
way,
no,
rest.
he spanked what's her name, Yeoman Rand.
Oh yeah, Roman Rand,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and
that's a
uh,
memorable scene.
and we'll cover it tomorrow. But I wanted to say rest in peace, Robert Walker Jr., who played Charlie. He just passed away a few months ago.
Oh, did
Oh
he?
no,
Oh, wow.
I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Yeah, he used to attend conventions and everything. And there's a couple pictures of people posing with them. And
Darn.
his dad was an actor, Robert Walker Sr. Yeah, he played in a good old movie called Ensign Pulver. I check it out, and Mr. Roberts. If you guys ever check those out, very very funny comedies.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think I saw those years ago. Yeah.
Brutal Eyes, yeah, um, yeah, great cast, very funny. They're naval movies about sailors on ships.
I did
Took
see
place.
those, but it's been ages, like decades ago.
Well,
They're
I
good
reckon.
films. Good
Yes,
films, though.
yeah, Jack Lemmon, Peter
Yeah,
Fonda,
that's it.
uh huh,
Yeah, Fonda. Yep. Great films.
Burt, good old Burl Ives is the cantankerous captain of the ship,
Yeah, they're
and
definitely worth seeing.
Hungry Boy says, "I didn't mean to spoil, but sensitive lurkers might need a warning." Lol. Well, that's why we've decided there's no spoiler warnings here because these series are 50 years old, however old it is. So that's okay. But like I said, I will update my red alert symbol, and I will use that whenever we have an emergency or somebody needs to. My rating I gave, which is a C. My plug for my channel, which I'll do now, is as you guys can see on Mondays, I do review of Star Trek, the TAS, along with Jill, Scotty, and whoever else manages to make it here. And this was the Magics of Megas-Tu, episode number 8, broadcast October 27th, 1973. Next Monday, we're going to cover Once Upon a Planet, which was
Ooh.
broadcast November 3rd, 1973. And the summary of that is upon returning to the amusement park planet, the one we know from Shorely, that is, the Enterprise's crew finds the computer which generates the planet's sophisticated robots running amok, with the caretaker nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and I've shared the trailer for that if you want to watch it.
And
Yay!
there we go.
Oh,
Thank you,
cool. Let's
Jill.
see.
And I guess we'll see y'all next time.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I really appreciate it. Oh, and Hungry Boy, yes, William Castle horror film warnings. I'm a huge fan of William Castle, so I get the reference.
Yeah, I remember William Castle films when I was a kid. They'd show it in the theater. He'd have a lot of gimmicks though, right?
Yes,
Sometimes
the
they'd have like
Tingler.
electric shocks in the seats or some crazy
Yeah,
thing.
he
You
had
remember?
electric shocks for the movie The Tingler, right?
Yeah,
And
that's the one I think I saw.
and
Yeah,
13 Ghosts, he had like ghosts flying around the theater and stuff like that on strings
yeah,
and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. It was pretty crazy stuff.
But it drew people in. And he's
Oh
the one
yeah.
that started. He's the one that started where he'd have a bet that he would say anybody who could survive this film would get without vomiting or getting scared would get like $200 and all that kind of
Uh,
stuff.
he was a master at publicity for sure.
Yeah, and for anybody out there, if you know John Waters, I like John Waters. I'm a fan of his. He is heavily influenced by William Castle.
Oh, okay. I never realized that.
And Hungry Boy says, "90s, fabulous stream, guys. Thank you, Hungry Boy."
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Night, hungry
Thank
boy.
you.
Have a good
Good
one.
night.
Yeah, it was a
Or
blast.
good
Okay, Jill, I
afternoon.
think we're ready, and I'll see you guys on the flip side tomorrow on Jill's channel.
Yeah, I'll see you guys. I don't know what day, but probably next weekend sometime.
Well, you're welcome here anytime. I appreciate you being here. Like I said, it's a
Well,
pleasure.
thank
See
you.
you guys.
I
See
appreciate
you
being
tomorrow,
here.
Jill. I'm gonna try to see what comments I can make to get you go. I wish I didn't read that.
Well, you
Oh
said you'll
yeah.
right.
Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate it. It's
Always
always
putting up
fun.
a pout challenge, right? All right. Have a great night, everybody. Take care, and especially you and the panel. Peace.
Yeah,
Cheers. Thanks,
thanks.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. It was fun.
And here we go.
Captain's Log Supplemental. We anticipated nothing more than a period of rest and relaxation on this planet. Instead, Dr. McCoy inexplicably was attacked, and Lieutenant Uhura is now missing.
I beg your pardon, but did you fight Rapid? He went that way, Alice. Up with his head! Up with his head!
Hey, what's going on here?
Captain!
And then suddenly this female started shouting, "Off with his head!" Our amusement park no longer seems content to amuse.
What's happening?